This series is written chronologically. If you are new to the series, you must start at Season 1, Episode 1. Thank you. The Blood-Drawn Chronicles Season 11, Shards of a Broken Heart, was written by Michael Bradley and produced by DigiFox Studios. This season was brought to you, in part, thanks to the generous contributions of our patrons, William Wibbins and Zoe Robinson. Thank you, William and Zoe, for your generous donations. If you'd like to contribute towards our next season, titled Season 12, Winds of a Welcomed Winter, please visit www.patreon.com/TBDC and take advantage of the awesome perks we have available. We would like to take this time to thank Lord Saunders from www.lordsaunders.com for the wonderful audio mastering of this episode that you're about to enjoy. As always, thank you for listening, and now our story continues.
Woodrow, have you seen Myrick?
My day has been wonderful, my dear. Will you join me for a spot of tea? Oh, Woodrow, you're too kind to offer. Nonsense. It was just you who came to visit me in the courtyard just to ask how my day was going. The least I could do is offer you a refreshment. Psst. This is the part where you sit down.
Okay.
Wonderful. Now 1 scoop or 2?
1, please.
2. Excellent. Lemon?
What?
Lemon. Would you prefer a hint of lemon with your tea? I find a hint of lemon always hits the spot.
Oh, yes, please.
No problem. All right, now just a dab for you and a dab for me, and now...
How are you doing that?
Well, primarily it's 3 parts water, 1 part tea, 1 scoop.
No, I mean the floating. How are you controlling everything up in the air like that, all at once?
Oh, that. Neat trick, isn't it?
Yes, it's almost as if everything from the teapot down to the spoon had a mind of its own. They move so gracefully, like a dance.
Why, thank you. Graceful dance is actually what I'm shooting for.
It's a pleasant reminder of home.
Oh, how so?
Growing up, everything in my house was enchanted, from the bed sheets to the tablespoons. Earth is beautiful, but it lacks that certain comfort of feeling the world around you come alive. I've grown accustomed now to making my own bed, but in my world...
Beds make themselves.
Yes.
Tables drape themselves, teapots prep themselves. I imagine then plates serve themselves?
Uh-huh.
What a wonderful world that would be.
It was.
I'm sorry, dear.
Oh, no, please. Don't think... I'm quite happy here.
Ah, but it's not home, is it?
Home is wherever Myrick and I can smile when the day is over.
The two of you have come a long way.
We have. It was difficult, and I was most of the difficulty, but...
Is that what you think? You know, in the difficulty department, Myrick is on his own scale.
Myrick can be a bit...
Oh, no. There's no bits to Myrick. The man is an expert in making mountains out of molehills. He thrives in taking a little problem and blowing it up until it rivals cannon fire. Trust me, the only thing Myrick has ever succeeded in being a bit of is a pain in my ass.
If you feel that way, why do you make him your friend?
It does seem odd, doesn't it?
Yes. So then, why are you two...
Because, my dear, you do not choose your friends for who they are. You choose your friends for who they are capable of being. Myrick is a lot of things. Pain in the ass seems to sum up the most of them, but you and I have both seen what he's capable of. And what he's capable of makes you call him lover, and it makes me call him friend. By the way, don't ever repeat this to him, but I've been alive a long time. 200 years a dwarf, 1,000 accomplishments, and yet no one ever looked me in the eyes when talking. The first time vampires ever called me by name was when Campeggio and his band met Myrick, and that was just for show. Before that, it was dwarf this and imp that, but not Myrick. From the beginning, he's looked me in the eye when talking. He's always called me by name. He's even gone as far as to ask me for advice. On women, no less. Can you believe that? A guy like Myrick asking a dwarf for advice on women. No one asks a dwarf that. You ask a dwarf where he got his collar-belled shoes, how is it he can read large print, or just how he learns to juggle. But women? In what story does the fair maiden tell the handsome prince, I like you, prince, but I'd love you if you were more like a dwarf? I recall a time once, there was this girl...
It was me, wasn't it?
What? No, she was a girl I knew from my...
I meant the advice Myrick asked for. It was about me.
Oh, whatever gave that away? Anyhow, there was a girl I knew growing up. She had...
Woodrow.
I wish. If she had me, this story would have a happy ending. No, she had some other guy, Tom or Harry or Mark, I think. For the sake of the story, we'll call him Richard. The way I can keep referring to him as Dick throughout the tale. And what a dick he was! Wait, no, that came off wrong. Jack! We'll call him Jack, due to the fact that he was an ass. How's that sound?
All right, I suppose. I just wanted to ask you something.
Please hold all questions until the end of this story. Do you agree?
Very well.
Perfect. Now, where was I? Yes, this girl who I won't name lived in the same house as me. We grew up together.
She was your sister.
But no, how would me having my sister make this a good story? Think, princess, think.
I'm sorry.
Anyhow, this girl who was not my sister...
If she wasn't your sister, who was she?
What happened to holding all the questions until the end? At this rate, I'll never finish my story.
Right. Sorry.
All right, then. This girl who was not my sister, but a maid's wench. Hold all questions. A maid's wench is a girl who learns proper house etiquette in order to work in a palace. She does so by living with a retired palace maid, which my mother was. Mothers often choose this career for their daughters as it may one day find in the arms of a man of plenty. That's why this girl grew up in my house. There. Now, forget it. I liked her, but she...
She could only see you as a dwarf.
I made quite a pet.
Woodrow.
She got her wish. She became a palace maid to one of the most influential men in the land. It was during that time that she had met Jack. Jack was tall, Jack was handsome, Jack was rich. He had a way with words and a certain charm about him that made her always run to him. But Jack never wanted her. He would toss her aside, yet still she found her way back. I was too young back then to understand the reason. In my mind, if I became more like Jack, she might just run to me for once. And so I mirrored him. I copied his words and replicated his charm to the dot. I became the Woodrow collie that you know and love today. In truth, I could have used a Myrick back then.
So what I'm gathering is you were an ass, and you could have used a little pain in your ass back then.
Exactly, princess. It's Myrick and you entirely.
I was a real pain.
And we both know Myrick's a real ass, so...
Whatever happened to that girl?
Well, with all the constant interruptions, which changed my usual storytelling method, you've only heard about 10% of the tale. But you got the moral of the story right away. Kind of. So there's little need to continue.
I'm curious. She ended up with Jack, didn't she?
Well, not exactly.
Another man, then?
No, more like a ceiling post.
What?
It's complicated. The story leaves you with quite a bit of a hanger.
No, she didn't.
I'm afraid so.
How could she do something like that?
Well, it's fairly simple. A rope, a chair, a high enough ceiling, and a sturdy post.
What I mean is, why would she?
I know. When you stop and think about it, it's really jacked up what she did.
That's nothing to joke about.
And if I only received 10% of the story too, I would agree with you. But alas, I lived through 100% of it. Believe me when I say, Alannah, I've cried myself to the point of laughter. If you can learn anything from me, it's this. We cannot know the height of joy until sorrow has taken the deepest part of us. But you know this already, for how can you define laughter if you've never cried? They are at odds, but belong to the same coin. You can laugh until you cry, or in my case, you can cry until you laugh.
But then the world will think you're crazy.
Well, by reputation, yes, but not by character, which is why you should worry about your character, not your reputation. For your character is who you are, and your reputation is only what others think of you, which is ever-changing and hardly ever impeccable. Your character defines you, and I, by definition, am a funny man.
You know, Woodrow, I can see why Myrick values your opinion. You are very wise and very...
Handsome, I know.
Yes, very handsome.
And you, Alannah, are something else. You're a very smart girl, and the only one who can tame a man like Myrick.
I don't know.
Ah, but you do know. The only thing you're looking for now is direction.
Yes, I am.
And you came to the right person. Myrick went, Oh, he went that way.
Oh, right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Oh, there is one more thing.
Yes? What is it?
Smile first before you tell him.
How did you...
That's the tea talking, dear. Now run along. He's had quite the head start.
Right. Thank you, Woodrow, for everything.
Oh, don't mention it. After all, what are friends for?
Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, please feel free to like, share, comment, and most importantly, subscribe. Don't feel like waiting until next week for the next episode of the Blood Drawn Chronicles to release? No worries. You can get access to all the episodes of this season now for just $5 pledge on Patreon.